That's new. I kind of like that.
I got to get Jim to make a one for us, man.
That was dope.
Yeah, we're live here on Capital Sports and all the Twitch viewers. We already got the Twitch viewers watching.
Of course we do.
So, let me pull up here. We're going to talk a little bit about these games today. This is a betting show, so if you're, we're not going to be talking a lot of news here. Pull up the lines for the Premier League games today, and then we'll look at League On tomorrow and some Premier League games. And, there we go. All right, so Chelsea Bournemouth is the first game today. I think both of us, first of all, you can get his picks on Big Al and pickadvisor.com. I actually do have some picks today.
Yeah, that you're allowed to post Premier League, just not any other league that exists on the planet. Only Premier League.
Really nowhere. I don't even know if I have them, to be honest.
It's the only league that exists.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Chelsea, Bournemouth here. Chelsea at minus 295. Bournemouth at plus 800.
Such a disgusting game.
Let me see what Sportsmo has to say here. First of all, look at the table here. Chelsea is in ninth. Bournemouth can move within 2 points. They've been terrible. They haven't won a game in the last 5. They went into the break on the back of 3 straight losses.
And all to good teams. They were like Tottenham, Newcastle, teams like that. Man United, I think.
Bournemouth are unbeaten in 3 Premier League games with Chelsea.
Ever since that 9-win Liverpool loss, we said that they had been turning things around.
Chelsea's going to start their lineup: Mendy, Chaloba, Silva, Koulibaly, James, Jorginho, Gallagher, Cucurella.
Is it going to be Mendy? I saw that Kepa was getting the start today.
He has a foot problem, but Mason Mount's still banged up. Ziyech is out. Kovacic is out because of the World Cup.
Because they basically killed themselves to play in that third, the bronze medal game.
So they just left. Wesley Fofana, N'Golo Kante, Chilwell, Ruben Loftus-Cheek are out. I don't actually like this game at all. I actually think Bournemouth can get a result in this game. Double chance Bournemouth or draw is plus 235. I did that yesterday with West Ham. Chelsea should win, but I don't know. I mean, this is a weird game to me.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with Sportsmo. I'd lean to the under in this one just because, I don't know I know Chelsea's at home, but I don't know what they're going to do. They weren't playing well going into the break, and I don't think they're just going to come out. Plus, we got 7 overs yesterday. I think that's got to, correct itself probably in these last few games. I don't think I've noticed with the Premier League, when you get like a high-scoring day, the next day is not so much high-scoring games.
Yeah, it's interesting because Bournemouth the last 3 games, 3-0, 4-3, 3-2. Chelsea. I don't know how Potter's going to go about this. I think he could try to maybe shut this down and maybe kind of play 1-0, something like that. But I don't know. I don't like the game at all.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
The second game, obviously, is Manchester United and Nottingham Forest. Nottingham. Hold on here, Premier League. Looking to end the longest goal drought in 52 years versus Manchester United.
Nottingham's only scored. They've only scored 1 goal in their 7 away matches this year.
Really?
1 goal, and they've allowed 19.
And the main thing with this game is that Dean Henderson can't play, so because he's on loan. So you're going to get Wayne Hennessy in goal.
Wayne
Lingard.
Hennessy, who was literally drinking himself when he got that red card in the World Cup. I don't know what he was thinking on that move. There was no need to just come out, put your team in a position like that.
United's going to have maybe, I don't know, Maguire maybe in center back. Luke Shaw should play. Juan Bissaka's probably going to play left, but they're going to have Casemiro, Eriksson, Anthony, Fernandez, Rashford, Martial, Garnacho is going to be available. I mean, attacking wise, they're probably pretty, just defensively is where they're a little bit shaky, I think. But De Gea will be in goal. I don't know. I mean, I'm biased, obviously, but I think Manchester United wins this pretty easily. If I was telling you to bet this game, I would say 1.5. See what the line is there.
It's pretty much 1.5. I think it's
1.5 minus 114. It's not the greatest value in the world, but I don't know.
Even the over is a little juiced. I think it's around like minus 160. But I would probably take the over 3 in this game just because. The defense, your defense, it really isn't great today. Missing obviously Varane and Lisandro Martinez there, but the attacking players, you guys have a lot of quality on the attack today. Obviously, Casemiro is going to play, and you got Martial back. He's finally back for your team.
Yeah, so terrible against Burnley, but it's interesting because they could go different ways with this game. You could start Rashford out on the left. You could start Garnacho. You could start Anthony. You could start Martial. You could start. There's multiple ways you can go about it. I think Garnacho was a little bit off the pace the other day, but he's obviously clearly good. But he's also a very good player off the bench as well. Once again, Gakpo. There's no really need to get him. You can't even get the players. Jadon Sancho can't even get on the field. Why are we going to get, I have Rashford, Rashford again, like they're all the same. Like you don't really need them. Wednesday's game is Leeds and Manchester City. Manchester City is now 7 points back in the table. When you look at the Premier League table here, they're actually in third. Newcastle's jumped ahead of them. This City team has played 2 less games than Newcastle. Tottenham's played 16 games. Newcastle's played 16. Arsenal's played 15. City and Manchester United have both played 14. So,
but you know what? Even if City wins, they're still 5 points behind old Arsenal.
Yeah, I think City. I think City has to. I don't think City can kind of. They don't have a lot of margin for error anymore. Especially when you're playing teams at the bottom of the table.
Especially when your robotic human being has been off for an entire month.
Yeah.
Oiling the joints. Greasing and oiling the joints.
He scored within 10 minutes the other day. Obviously in that Liverpool win, very good win there. They looked pretty good. Obviously, they're going to be offensively, I think, attacking wise, this team is. I can't imagine Leeds. This is basically the same line as Manchester United and Forest, except City's on the road here. I probably want over 1.5. I think is the way I would probably go here. Manchester City over 2.5 goals is minus 103. Over 3.5 plus 265. Over 4.5. A lot of times when Pep wants to make a statement or say we're back, they go and they just absolutely annihilate these teams. So I think that might be the way it happens here.
Well, they might even look at the way Arsenal played yesterday, how they came back without, missing your best goal scorer basically, and you got to compete with that. You're still going to be 5 points behind with a win today, so you got to come out and make a statement. You got to make Arsenal worried and make them think we have to go pick somebody up in January to compete with them when we have to play them on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. I think this is an interesting spot. I think City could really.
I know on the last show I was a little rattled that they moved the game so far back, but I'm starting to actually think it's better because now you'll get to see. That'll be because right on Valentine's Day, that's 2 weeks after the January window closes, so it'll be a good test for Arsenal. You'll see if the moves they made are really going to help them for that final push of the season. If they can get a good result against Man City in that game, I think that'll be big for them. Just the timing of that fixture.
I like this. I might do the over 2.5, 3.5, 4.5 thing here. 5.5 is 1,600.
Just a slaughter.
I think it could be, and I don't know. You don't know about these. Could be 4-0, whatever. But I just think they have a chance maybe to make a statement. They just scored 3 goals against Liverpool. I know it wasn't their their starters or whatever, but still not a bad lineup.
I'm with you on that one, just because I took, as much as we've been trashing them all year, I took Liverpool yesterday because I thought it was a must win. You were getting them at like -130, and this was like coming back from the break. You were junk all year. You need to come out, make a statement here, and give teams a reason to want to come to you in January, actually come play for your team. So I thought that was a big game, and I think I would have to agree with you on Man City here. It's probably a similar situation. Coming back from the break, you're still going to be 5 points behind Arsenal with a win here. You're going to come out, make a statement. I'm sure Haaland's going to want to make a statement. He'll probably score 2 goals in this match just because he's been watching everybody play for a month.
Yeah, I agree. And you get, I think, let's go scores here. Player goals to score two or more goals. Haaland is plus 275. To score 1 goal, he is minus 195. So that's absolutely ridiculous. You can't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even understand how you bet that. That's ridiculous. Wednesday, tomorrow is also Ligue 1 comes back. There's actually some interesting games this week. See, here's the table. PSG, surprisingly, Lens is second. They're only 5 points back of PSG with only 1 loss. Lens, Rennes, Marseille back and forth. Lorient up in 5th. There's some teams maybe you don't see up here all the time. Lorient, Lens, obviously. But when you look at the odds here, on Wednesday, PSG is the final game against Strasbourg, minus 455 goal scoring odds. Mbappe minus 195 to score.
Not even bettable this game. Like, how do you even bet this?
I was going to bet probably Mbappe to score 2 goals plus 285.
Even the totals minus 275 just for like over 2.5.
Yeah. I don't know how you kind of PSG is probably going to have some players out.
Yeah, I doubt Messi's ready to come back. He's probably still partying it up in Argentina.
He's a guy, he may, who knows? I mean, he's one of these guys that doesn't want to miss games. I mean, over 2.5 goals for PSG is minus 134, which is, ridiculous. I mean, how do you even bet this game? I think you could, Mbappe to score 2 goals, I think is a pretty good play at plus 285. PSG minus 2 is plus 104. So, minus 1.75 isn't the worst play ever. Minus 127. I think, maybe I would take it to minus 1.5 and put it in a parlay with something.
You know what? Depending who plays, I might even look at the under because it looks like the under is going to be, I don't know, 3.5, maybe even 4 in this game. What do we got here? Actually, I need to
for the
the under is like 3.5 in this PSG game. So
yeah.
Depending on the lineup, I would almost look at the under 3.5 just because, you know, they don't play well when that Pablo Sarabia is on the field. There's something about him I don't like.
Strasburg's not scoring here. You know, Foxy's
Yeah,
asking if Mbappe and Neymar are going to play for PSG. I think so.
I hope, because if Sarabia's in, I'm taking the under because I just think he ruins the flow of their attack. I don't know what it is, but the games he starts in, they just don't look good. They've looked terrible on the attack. They can't score goals. Like,
here's the lineup that they have on Sportsmo, Foxy. Donnarumma, Hakimi.
Soler is better than
They have
Sarabia.
they have Hakimi and Marquinhos, Ramos, Bernat, Verratti, Ruiz. Well, Verratti's playing because Italy hasn't made the World Cup in about 50
Is
years.
Hakimi really going to be back?
I have him listed.
Wow. But
It's been an extra week for some of these, like
I guess, yeah. Well, Ziyech isn't playing, but I guess because he's injured also.
Ruiz, Vitinha, Soler, Neymar, and Mbappe. So let's see if
It's not terrible then. As long as Sarabia is not in there, I don't like him. I just don't like him.
Yeah, it looks like he's being. I don't need World Cup. Like, I just don't need any more. Ekitike should start for sure. Yeah, I think they don't have him listed here, but yeah, I think so probably because they want to play 4-3-3. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good bet, Foxy. There, let me see what we got here for Ekitike to score. Multiple goals is plus. Oh, that's plus 525 to score 2 goals, and minus 107 to score. Foxy, let me see what you think. Is this? We talked about that Manchester City game. I'm not sure if you're here when we talked about it, but City against Leeds being one of those games where you bet over 2.5, 3.5, 4.5. If these guys are playing, would you take a shot here on PSG? Where is it? Total goals by PSG over 3.5 plus 205, over 4.5 plus 500. Is this maybe one of the games you would take a shot on? I think this. I think Mbappe comes out like he kind of knew Kane was going to score yesterday. I thought, I didn't know he was going to be another donkey and miss, so many chances. But he scored 10 and 7 now on Boxing Day. I think this is a game, and the City game is a chance where maybe you go over 3.5. Look at that. It'd be an interesting parlay. Over 3.5. Over 3.5. If you go over 3.5 for City and PSG tomorrow, that parlay pays plus 1,000. To me, that's actually probably an interesting play. I think both these teams come out. Like, I'd be a little bit more positive that PSG would do that. Like, City, obviously the league is a little bit better, but I think they could come out and make a statement here. But that to me, that's an interesting parlay at plus 1,000 there. City over 3.5 and PSG over 3.5 on the 2 Wednesday games. That might be somewhere to go. The over-under really depends on an Mbappe and Neymar starting. If they both start, they'll play angry. If they rotate, most likely the under. Yeah, I agree. I think these teams, Mbappe's trying to win a Ballon d'Or and all this other stuff and win the champion. He's going to come out and play probably on fire. I would agree there. I
Well,
think
we're talking about the guy who told the coach in the World Cup, "You're not resting me." They ended up doing it anyway. But
these
this
guys,
is,
like, they just don't want to play. Like, they don't want to not play. I mean, Messi's the same way. I'm telling, like, Messi is going to be like, he's celebrating, but he's like, these guys are like, it's programmed in their brain. They want to play. Like, I'm sure, like Holland, I know he has to rest every once in a while, but he's one of these guys that wants to play all the time. To me, like, if with Holland in the lineup, with Messi and Neymar in the lineup, and Ikitike as well, the over 3.5 in both those games. I mean, you're probably halfway there with Holland and Mbappe. So, if you could get a couple goals from somebody else, I think that's actually a pretty decent play. Maybe you go, if you want to be a little safer, you go over 2.5. City, that still plays plus 500. That's with City. That's at PSG over 3.5 and City over 2.5. So that pays half the price there. Well, plus 500 for a 2-thing parlay is not really that bad for two teams that are going to probably, they're both minus a million favorites. So I think that's actually pretty interesting. The other thing, the other game, I think it's Thursday. I don't know if you liked any of these other games here, Troy Nance. It's a kind of weird games. I think.
Yeah, the Liga is always like that. It's like you'll get 1 week where every game looks great, and then the next week it's like, I hate all these matchups. Like, who wants to see those two teams play each other?
Marseille's playing Toulouse at minus 200. The game to me on Thursday at 3:00, which is very interesting. Nice plays Lens. Lens is second. When you look at the table, Lens, when you look at the home records, Lens is the best team in the league with a home record.
Yeah, they
are. Nice is not very good at home. They're 16th. They have a minus 3 goal difference. They've allowed 9 goals. They've only won 2 games. When you look at the away table, Lens is pretty good. They're 5th in the table. They've only allowed 4 goals on the road in 7 matches. So, to me, if you're going to like Lens at plus 145, I really, this Lens team is pretty good.
I'd rather have them at home personally.
Yeah, they haven't kept an away clean sheet all season. Yeah, Fox. Yeah, I think that Strasbourg team is, it's just bad luck for them that they actually have to play PSG right after the thing. They're really bad. Strasbourg's won 1 game. And it was on the road. They're actually not terrible on the road. But they've only, at home, they're atrocious. But they're on the road. Yeah, I would rather have this Lens team. I think I might throw a couple bucks down on Lens at plus 145. And then basically, I think later in the week we can really kind of look at some of these. But the other games, the other teams, the Portuguese league comes back this week. Thursday, Porto is minus 770. I don't even understand how. They should win that game easily, but
I don't know, man. Club Brugge tied over the weekend 1-1. I don't know about these smaller teams, how they're going to come back from the break.
Yeah, Porto minus 2.5. I mean, you just don't, it's just, I kind of want to maybe see a little bit. The only other thing is, La Liga starts back again on Thursday. Really, the games are, Real Madrid plays Friday against Valladolid, and Barcelona plays on Saturday without maybe Lewandowski. So we'll see about that. Cadiz is playing Almeria. Could be interesting there.
You're telling me you don't have that Atletico Madrid Elche marked in your calendar? Yeah. Alarms and everything.
Yikes. Cadiz is now off the bottom of the table. Elche still doesn't have a win. Wow. Cadiz is tied with Sevilla right now. With a win, they would move up to 16th.
Wow.
That could be interesting.
Yeah.
But just wanted to kind of come on and show you some of these games. I think Foxy's kind of with the same idea. With maybe kind of looking at some of those.
I think after that World Cup, we need to see Griezmann go somewhere better. I think he's earned. I think he's earned a spot on a better club than.
Yeah, I think that team is going to get blown up. To be honest,
like they're not even starting him half the games, and he was easily France's best player in a lot of those games. The way he just controlled everything.
Yeah, I can't. I just see that Atletico Madrid kind of getting blown up. I don't know how much longer.
Well, Felix is going to be taken. Someone signing him. I think Griezmann has to go to.
And they just re-signed him, so that's pretty interesting.
But, yeah, I don't know. I think someone's gonna want him after watching that World Cup. He was just man. I didn't even know he had it in him after watching some of those games. I was like, where is this player for Atletico Madrid?
That's where Foxy Newcastle should take them, man. Had some nice bits of the championship. Had Middlesbrough to win 3-1. Huddersfield to lose first half thing. Have a 3-game parlay with draws. Just need the Reading game to draw tonight versus Swansea. We'll try
the old draw parlay. Nothing's better than the old draw parlay. Just stringing together all the plus 200, 300s.
Yeah, you got Foxy's own show on here, man. We just follow all his plays.
The parlay master.
Yeah, yep. So yeah, just we just wanted to come on and give you a little bit of some plays. Your plays were 4-1 yesterday on.
Yeah, I went 4. My only loss was I was on the under in Arsenal, and that was all based off. I thought maybe they'd win the game, but like 1 or 2-0. That penalty for West Ham really fucking threw things out. Oh, my bad. Really, really threw things out the window because they got angry and they came out and they scored 3 goals in the second half. So I think it showed a lot though. And you were talking about these players getting angry. But look at Arsenal. We were all wondering who's going to score goals for them, and it was all the players that are angry from the World Cup. Martinelli didn't get too much of a start, but his team didn't do well. They scored. Saka had a great World Cup for England. He scored a goal for them. Even your Nketiah scored yesterday, the 3rd goal, so he got on the board somehow.
Yeah, that was yesterday was always going to be like an interesting day with these games. It's tough because you want to you kind of want to see what's going on, and then at the same time you're like, man, I think we're going to see some of these better teams here kick on. I think. And we talked about it on the other show. I think Everton's in a lot of trouble. I think Lampard will be gone. It's hard to sack him now because there's no time between games. I mean, I guess you could, but if they lose 6-0 to City, I hope they wait until they play United for the FA Cup. That would be fantastic. But I can't imagine. We're probably going to face Duncan and the thing again, and we'll have to worry about that. But yeah, he's going to be gone. I just think Wolves will be on the rise here, and it's going to be very interesting next month because there's so many games here. But we just want to try to stay hot. We're so good in the World Cup here, but Foxy's winning, you're winning yours. Sometimes I win mine on. Actually, on my plays, I've been winning actually, but nobody looks.
Not your World Cup. You didn't give out World Cup.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to.
Wasn't allowed to give out World Cup. Handcuffing people.
Absolutely ridiculous. But all right, so we'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 with the sports show, and then we'll be giving out some plays there, and I think we'll probably be back Thursday or Friday at some point. Probably Friday we'll give out some of the weekend plays because I think there's a really big weekend slate and then going into next week. So if you're watching, but go get his picks at Pick Advisor and Big Al, and I don't even know winners and minors. I think I have mine, but my bowl games have been good. But they always text me and they're like,
Hey, you had Middle Tennessee money line. You called that.
did they win that game?
They won. They won 25-23. You called that 7-point underdog.
Yeah, they're plus 300. I didn't even check my balance. Yeah, I had the spread and the thing. I did see, and that was a pretty interesting game. I thought they were going to show up in that game. I just thought they were a better team.
I took the 7 just because, Hawaii, I thought both teams were going to come out fat, happy, just vacationing. Yep. You know what I mean? Their Hawaiian shirts on the field.
Yep. There you go. All right. So we got upsets. All right. So, tune in tomorrow morning at 9 and we'll talk about something. And then we'll talk more soccer on here and football and all that stuff. So thanks for watching.